Hey everybody, it's Anthony from Simple Stagecraft, and today we are going to get a crash course overview in technical theater and its areas. It's hard to nail down a foolproof definition of technical theater, but I like to think of it as basically everything that goes into creating a production if you take out the acting, directing, and writing. You can also think of it as the design elements of a show and their execution. Technical theater in various forms dates almost all the way back to the inception of theater. Greek actors would don masks and robes as costumes, while props and scenery were slowly developed to supplement these great spectacles. Through the centuries, technical theater has grown as human technology has grown, adding rigging techniques from sailors, background music from musical instruments, and finally, some control over lighting besides the sun. Oh, okay, that's a bit much. Okay, much better. We can divide technical theater up into 6 more or less widely accepted areas, and that is scenery, props, costumes, lighting, sound, and lastly, stage management. Now let's break each of these categories down into some brief overviews. While I'm getting my notes out, please hit that subscribe button to keep the technical theater content coming. Let's start with scenery. Also referred to as a set, scenery is the physical organization of a space to aid in creating the world of the play. So, this encompasses walls, platforms, set dressing such as pictures or rugs, and for our purposes, I'm going to include furniture as well. While frequently this can fall into the area of props, it's still typically designed by the set designer. Like most areas of technical theater, scenery can be broken down into design and execution. Traditionally, the scenic designer will collaborate with the director and the other designers to design all elements of the set. This includes any paint and properties that may be part of the set, such as furniture pieces. The vision is executed by the scene shop, prop shop, and paint shop, which can include carpenters, welders, painters, any other specialized roles, and that can depend on the theater as well as the specific production. Props or properties can generally be narrowed down to anything that an actor carries or could carry on stage. There are some gray areas here, as I previously mentioned, like with furniture or set dressing, as to who's responsible between set and props. There can also be extensive overlap between props and costumes. Scenic design or costume designers may have some say in the design, anywhere from a seal of approval or a concept, all the way to detailed drawings, swatches, and renderings. Many times, though, the prop master is left to collaborate between the director and prop artisans to design, source, and build props. Due to the extensive list of props in many shows, oftentimes props are preferred to be pulled from storage or borrowed or bought before resorting to a custom build. Nonetheless, widely specific props are constantly being constructed. Probably the most straightforward and widely understood area of technical theater is costumes. Costumes essentially covers anything worn by an actor. This goes down to the jewelry and the undergarments. Wigs and makeup can be considered as separate from the costume department, but generally it's all thought of as part of the costume shop. The costumes for a show are designed, shockingly, by the costume designer, who frequently actually is in there working physically on the costumes throughout the production process. This is a bit different than what is typical for, let's say, set and lights. The primary point of execution, though, depending on the specific theater, is usually the costume shop manager or supervisor, whoever's the head of the costume shop. And then they'll typically delegate to other sewists or stitchers, drapers, or milliners. On to lighting. Lighting obviously covers the stage lights, spotlights, etc., but it really covers pretty much anything that has to do with electricity that isn't sound related. That means projections, fog and haze, or practicals on stage, such as chandeliers or anything else that actually has to light up. Light plots are designed by the lighting designer, and then more often than not, that's handed off to the master electrician and the rest of the electrics crew to do all of the actual hanging and focusing and running the cable for all of the lights needed. Lighting is fairly unique in that a large, if not the largest part of actually designing the show, is done all the way towards the end of the process at Tech Week. This is when they do cue to cues, and the designer has seen parts of rehearsal already and knows exactly where people are standing, and that's when they actually create or finish creating the looks and cues for the lights and plug them into the board. Lights are then run by the light board operator during the run of the show. Any audio or audio equipment used for a show is the responsibility of the sound department. This includes sound effects, microphones, music, and so on. Sound is unique in that even professionally, it's not uncommon for one single person in a production to design the sound and then set it up and even run it during the course of a show. The sound designer collaborates with the director to determine and source all sound effects or music needed. If microphones are used, they are in charge of said microphones and the mixing of their audio. For musicals in particular, audio production expertise is invaluable for fine-tuning the mix and levels between microphones and music. The process is ongoing and can even change nightly depending on an actor whose voice is wearing down during the course of a production, or maybe an actor makes a wonderful choice to scream for the first time one night during a scene. Far different from the other areas of technical theater, stage management doesn't really have a say in any of the design of a production, but they do have their hands in just about everything. Stage management can broadly be broken down into three main functions. They run rehearsals in terms of time, note-taking, and pretty much anything else that can add structure. They call cues, lights, sound, etc. during the run of a show. That ensures that there's like one commanding voice that brings all the elements together properly. And then finally, and most importantly, they are a communications hub between everybody. Directors, designers, actors, technicians, everybody hears from the stage manager, responds to the stage manager, answers to the stage manager, and this gives a through line, especially of safety throughout the whole process, throughout everything that's going on, particularly once technical elements are started to be added to the show into rehearsals and that sort of thing. It's a lot to take in, I know. Everyone needs some sort of general understanding of these areas, but for the most part, people just specialize in one or two areas at most. And sometimes it's not even a whole area. Sometimes it's something as specific as paint or makeup. So really, just to start with, pick one you think you're interested in and dive into it. Don't get hung up on all the options. It's totally okay to switch later. Now, this is a mile-high view of technical theater, but hopefully it is a helpful start or a good review for you. If you're looking to dive deeper into technical theater, please follow along, subscribe, check out my other videos. Till next time, have yourself a super day.